Hello, welcome back to Tiny Orders TV. If you were looking at this screen, you probably already know what I'm about to do, but for those of you who don't know, I'm gonna do a Saturday morning shuffle, because in the midst of me doing my character creation series, I know I've kind of like just been uploading. I wanted to kind of break those up with some different content. I do have my Zodiac video that just went up, so today I want to break it up a little bit more and do a Saturday morning shuffle. And I'm actually going to do a Pokemon Gajinka Saturday morning shuffle. So like really taking it back. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up my random generator with my little numbers and whatnot. And I'm gonna do a number, let's do 1 through 25. And whatever number it lands on, that's how many times I'll pick. So I'm going to do this 4 times because I typically do 3 or 4 Pokemon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be changing up these Pokemon color palettes with whatever color palette I end up getting. So the colors are going to be random and the Pokemon are going to be random. So I'm going to be making a Gajinka out of that combined concept. I guess it's kind of like a ultra rare shiny version, we'll call it that. So the first one, oh gosh, it's gonna be 25, and I'm gonna do these probably off camera. Maybe I'll do like a super fast version like I normally do. But first one's gonna be 25. I need to write this down. Pardon me for a second. All right, so our next number is gonna be 7, 2, and 18. All right, so whatever palette, however many times I click, that's the palette that I have to use for my Pokemon. So let's find out what Pokemon I'm going to be drawing, and then yeah, I'll do it that way. I'll draw up my Pokemon and then you guys will find out what color palettes I'm using as the video goes on. I think it'll be more fun that way. So here is my Pokemon generator, and I think because, let's see, yeah, we're still right in the middle of summer. Let's just do all types, but I'm gonna do a Lola, which I may not necessarily get like a tropical themed Pokemon, so maybe I'll play it on the safe side and go with the grass type just to kind of fire type. Let's go fire type. Okay, so yeah, there's some good ones in here. All right, let's get started. As tradition dictates, I'm going to be sharing some Pokemon Facts with you guys. Starting with Incineroar, of course, since they are first in our lineup. And even though, according to Bulbapedia, the gender ratio for Incineroar is 87% male and 12% female, I decided to go with a female Incineroar who is going to step in your sandcastle and you would let her. So Incineroar is number 727 in the lineup. They are a fire and dark combination type Pokemon. And interestingly enough, their name in Japanese is Gaogan, which is kind of a, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a play on words that kind of means fire face, which since this is a cat, it's supposed to kind of look like it's on fire. I found that amusing, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Incineroar is from Gen 7. They are the final evolution of one of the Gen 7 startups. Incineroar's flame belt is produced from within its body. Okay, so I kind of treated this more as an accessory, as you can see, turning animal features into human features. There's of course going to be a little bit of a disconnect, so the belt ends up being this kind of like bikini design and the tail ends up being this sort of like cape that's going around Incineroar's legs. Anyway, the belt is produced from within its body and bursts from its navel and waist as its fighting spirit rises. In addition to spewing fire from its navel, it uses ferocious kicks and punches. This Pokemon disregards the safety of its opponents and onlookers, sometimes striking the opposing trainer with attacks. Oh, he's just straight up a bully. Okay. It is a violent Pokemon, no kidding. And will sometimes ignore its trainer's orders when it is not in the mood to listen. So this is just Gen 7 Ash's Charizard. For those of you who didn't quote-unquote grow up with Pokemon, the original series, Ash had a Charizard. Well, it was a Charmander that he rescued, became a bratty Charmeleon, and then once it became a Charizard, just lost all respect for Ash and was basically just a bratty meso-adult. So this is giving me Ash's Charizard, if you will. Despite this, it finds fighting unworthy opponents boring and gets motivated fighting a challenging one. Weak or injured opponents also cause it to lose its desire to fight, which others sometimes use to their advantage. It also values the attention of the crowd, as Incineroar's spirit goes up while the crowd is excited or falters when the crowd is bored. While it tends to act like a heel, which is a wrestling term, a heel is basically someone who acts as like a villain type character in wrestling circuits. Incineroar is very happy internally when receiving the admiration of children or young Pokemon. Oh, so he's a bully with a soft spot. Good to know. That's all I have for the Pokedex on Incineroar for now, so I guess I'll get a little bit into the design. So off the bat, trying to translate this color palette into something that was recognizable in Incineroar, this just reinforced the idea that character silhouette, character color association is so important. Like, this to me, the silhouette still feels like Incineroar, no doubt, but typically shiny Pokemon, they're usually just kind of like an inverted version of whatever their original color palettes are, and this is more like a pastel version of Incineroar, and so it almost feels more like a Thundercats character than a Pokemon, honestly. I am pretty happy with the way I was able to translate things. I tried to keep it kind of one-to-one, where you have the lightest color representing red, and then the darkest color, which was that kind of blue-green, representing the black, and then the kind of medium being that like pale cornflower representing the gray that's in Incineroar's like chest and stomach. So this is my completed Incineroar. Let's move on to Torkel. This friend, we love a friend-shaped Pokemon. After that bully, we need a palate cleanser. So, Torkel is a Gen 3 Pokemon. It is, of course, a fire type. It is just straight fire, not mixed with anything else. Wait, this Pokemon is straight fire. Sorry, his number 324, and the ratio is 50-50 on, as far as the Pokemon gender ratio, and is not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon. So Torkel is, of course, a tortoise-like Pokemon with a large black rock shell with holes that glow with a warm red light. Because coal is Torkel's source of energy, it becomes immobile once it runs out of coal to burn. Aww. If the fire inside of a Torkel shell goes out, it will die. So that's kind of a thing with a lot of fire Pokemon, is that their fire is their life source. Again, going back to Ash's Charmander, he found him in the rain and with a little leaf over his tail, and he was basically literally just trying to stay alive. Anyway, a Torkel is healthy if smoke is spouting from its shell and has tremendous velocity. When it blows out smoke from its nostrils and the top of its back, it sounds like a locomotive horn. It blows black smoke out of its nostrils before fleeing and while being attacked. This precious little friend-shaped turtle. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other fun little facts here on the Bulbapedia Pokedex. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Oh, except for this little fact here in Heart Gold and Soul Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You can find abandoned coal mines full of them as they dig tirelessly in search of coal. Well, yeah, I mean, it's basically their food, it's their lifeblood. Yeah. So, for this design, and I like to try to be very diverse in my Gajinka designs, I decided to go with this sweet little old lady. Tortoises or turtles I feel like are usually associated with like elderly type characters, maybe because of like hunched over posture or the eyes, which I guess I could have gone with like a kid who's wearing glasses, but I thought drawing this like little old lady was also like very cute. She's got a little bit of chub on her because she enjoys sweets and she's been living life, so you know, as you get older you may gain a little weight later in life. This one was also kind of interesting, trying to keep a 1-to-1 as far as the color choices, because Torkel only has like really 3 main colors and I have 5 colors to work with here. So I use the pinks as reds, the greens as black, and that is pretty much my design for Torkel. So now we're gonna move on to, okay, so Salazal. And I'm saying this with this kind of exasperation because why do we feel the need to make, who in the character creation process decided, you know what, it's furry fodder, it's fine, I'm not gonna yuck your yum, you can have Salazal. So Salazal, which is of course a portmanteau of salamander and sizzle, Salazals are 100% female. Shocking. Who could have guessed that based on the design? It is the toxic lizard Pokemon, and it is a poison fire combination. Salazal was introduced in Gen 7 and is number 758, and only female Salandit evolve into Salazal starting at level 33. Male Salandits are not known to evolve into any other form. So, girl boss gatekeep. Anyway, Salazal can be found deep in caves with a reverse harem of male Salandit. Oh my goodness, this is... Ugh. The males are attracted by the pheromones and the poisonous gas created by Salazal. The male brings it food, and those that are unable to provide are punished with flaming slaps. This entire Pokemon is just somebody's kink. Which... Salazal's gas can also be diluted to make perfume. Only female Salazals exist, as the male Salandit cannot evolve due to a malnutrition diet. The winners of a competition between 2 Salazals are determined by who has the most male Salandit in their harem. Okay, let me just reiterate. I do not care if you find this Pokemon hot, because obviously this Pokemon was literally designed for that purpose. My only concern is why, when this Pokemon is supposed to be a children's show, yes? No? Why? Just why? So I tried to tone down my Gajinka design and make this character alluring but not overly like, ooh, like I don't know. And so the only way to like really put this character into something that translates into a Salazal beach design was to give her this kind of like pattern swimsuit with these like 2 little fronds out on the end. And actually I'm thinking maybe I could have changed it to kind of give her a skirt like Incineroar's and just do something a little different with that, but I'm fine with this design. And at this point, the colors are actually not too dissimilar from Shiny Salazal. Again, this ends up being a more pastel version of the original color palette than like a 1-to-1. And so I did have a little trouble. Basically, the blue ended up being black, and then the purple, I kept it purple, and then the hot pink ended up being this pastel pink. But for the most part, it was a pretty easy translation. So this is my Salazal design. And now we're going to move on to the final one. We have a good boy to end out the video. Arcanine. So Arcanine is one of the original 150 Pokemon lineup, so of course has a special place in my heart. It's also a dog type Pokemon, so that just adds on to it. So Arcanine is number 59 and evolves from Growlithe, and recently, so because this was the Alolan generation, I didn't get a chance to even like have this come up, but in the most recent, not Scarlet and Violet, the gen before that, it's Arceus. It's Pokemon Legends Arceus. I couldn't remember it because it wasn't a full gen. It was an interim game between the two big gen games. I call it the wrong thing. I'm sorry, guys. It's Pokemon Arceus. I believe it's Sword and Shield. In the Hisui region, Growlithe has a fire-rock combination type, and it looks like a foo dog, and it is absolutely adorable. I kind of wish that maybe I had gone with a different... I don't know. Anyway, Arcanine's fine, as is. Enough rambling. Let's get into the Arcanine Facts. So, he evolves from Growlithe when exposed to a Firestone, and he is a fiercely brave and loyal Pokemon. Is capable of running 6,200 miles in 24 hours with a speed and grace reminiscent of flight. In Generation 1, Extreme Speed was its signature move. Arcanine has long been admired for its beauty and speed, and anyone who hears its bark will grovel before it. The source of its power is a flame blazing wildly inside of its body, like most fire Pokemon. Being the result of an evolution via Evolution Stone, Arcanine is rarely found in the wild, but when found, it is usually seen living in prairies, and Pokemon Snap, which is, I guess it was an earlier Pokemon game, has also shown it to live inside of active volcanoes. In the show, it is shown that it stashes food in its mane and carries it to its nest for its young. Oh, such a good boy! Oh, yeah, actually, so gender ratio for this one is 75% male, 25% female, so it usually is going to be a good boy. In Hisui, the Arcanine has a slightly different look due to the volcanic activity of the environment that it lives in. Its body is red-orange, while its muzzle, mane, tails, and eyebrow and tufts of fur, and its elbows and ankles are gray, and the insides of its ear are gray. So, it's saying that it's made of igneous rock components, so it does more so resemble, whereas the original Arcanine kind of like just has this like fiery fluff, the Hisuian Arcanine design looks more like an active volcano, which like again just like makes it, this is a really cool design. Which I feel like Pokemon designs have been kind of hit or miss in the latest generation, so I'm really glad to see a good old design get an even cooler upgrade. Kind of like with the Psychic Articuno that they did as well, but Hisuian Arcanine uses its fangs while engulfed in flames to snap at foes. Despite how deceivingly bulky it is, it moves around nimbly like a dancer, so it still has its speed in both forms. Because this is a Gen 1 Pokemon, Gen 1, as far as like the Pokefacts, some of them are pretty cut and dry, unless you get into like some of the more popular ones, like especially with the ghost type ones. The ghost type ones has a really, like, they always have really messed up Pokedex entries, but Arcanine's he's just a fast fire puppy. It just is what it is. And fortunately, I had a color palette that was easier to translate one-to-one, where instead of orange, I have red, and instead of black for the stripes, I have this dark navy type color, which worked out really well. And the hair, in my mind, is translating a lighter, like if we're going orange and yellow, the lighter version of the red is that pink, so I used the pink for his hair and the little tufts around his arms and legs. And this is my Arcanine redesign. So here are all four of today's Gajinkas. We have Incineroar, Arcanine, Salazal, and Torkel, just enjoying a day on the beach. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, this beach day episode. If you guys are going out for the weekend, stay safe, don't blow your fingers off, wear sunscreen, hydrate, and just enjoy your day. So until next time, I will see you guys later, and have a weird day and a safe July 4th weekend if you celebrate. If not, stay inside and eat some hot dogs anyway. I'll see you later.